Okay, so previously in our Get Miner session, we've learned about what is issue, how basically we work with issues to get a project, and now we will move forward to the next step, right? So if you check out, so we have come to know about like what is open source, how to ask for us to like work on an issue, and if appointed we can actually work on it. Now let's assume we have been appointed, so how can we work on it? Assume that I have been like told like okay you can contribute, but it's not like if you are not said like if you're not given the opportunity of contributing you can't proceed. You can go for that, but it totally goes through the process of PR, which is pull request. That is the most interesting part, and we are going to know about it right now. Okay, but in the between, you have to understand what happens. In the meanwhile, just let me create this one. So firstly, we start with an issue. Issue might be created by us, or issue might be created by the maintainer. Then here the development part, or dev or test or anything that happens, and lastly we create the PR. This is pull request. Okay, and you can see it from here. Okay, but we haven't gone through the process, right? So how can we go through the process? That's the interesting part. So now I'm going to show you. Like first of all, assume that I've been given the opportunity or not. So I can now create actually press this one, which is the fork. Now as I previously told, when you press the fork you can create like you can actually clone the whole thing in your own repository. Now you can see this is my account. Within the account the project name will be the same. I have previously also mentioned, if you check out here I mentioned when you create the fork within your account the project names are same, right? You can see the name, these are the same. Okay, and all of the files are same as well. Now but here's the interesting part, copy the main branch only. No, not the main branch. Now you can ask me, brother, what is branch and so on. So we will understand about branch in our later sessions, but right now you don't need to bother about it, just but make sure you are unselecting that, because the reason is there are plenty of reasons. Okay, if you want to contribute to these projects, any other branches, for me, if you talk about it, I want to contribute to DevBN, which is for Bangla localization. And if I just press this main branch, I won't be able to copy that branch. Okay, I will show you. So if I just like unselect this one and create fork, I will show you. Just see. Okay, the whole project has been cloned in my repository. Now how will you understand? Now you can see it is Mithul3737, which is my account, and then glossary. That means as a whole previously it was in the owner's repository. Where? So again if you just press cncf glossary github, so let's see the difference. When this project is in the owner's repository, it is cncf/glossary, but as I have forked it down, now you can see it is in my repository. Now you might ask, brother, how can anyone actually justify if it has been like copied? It will be the violation of the rules, right? Like anyone can now copy or something like that. Now, okay, no issues. Just you can see here fork from this. So it has been mentioned. Just here you can see anyone like, but you can't see it here, right? So that's it. So this is the process. That's done. Now, how can I contribute? That is the most interesting part. And also previously you have seen me like I was basically unchecking that main branch only, so that I can have all of the branch. So here in the main one, cncf/glossary, if you check this one, you can see there are a lot of branches. Now you can ask what is branch and what are the things we do. You will know about it, but my main goal was to contribute to you can see if I just search for bn, this branch. Okay, this branch, it is for Bangla localization. So we developers who are working in Bangla to localize it from English to Bangla, this is where we are working on. Now you can also ask like is there any website where I can see the whole project, what is happening here and so on? Surely you can. So basically here is the link as well, right? So if you go here, this is the project, this is the all of the code. We know right now that this is what happens, right? So all of the code which is here is actually this is a backend code. So this is the project actually, okay? So how can you understand and so on? So basically things are different. You also actually need to understand the code, how it is working and so on. So all of the things, like if you just check it out here, like if you just press it, you'll see Hindi, Portuguese, Bangla as well. So this project particularly, the projects might be different from this. There are a lot of projects. There are a lot of projects which are totally technical, but it's much more of documentation based, something like that, but localizing project. So if you go to content here, you can see like BN, all of the things which are actually here. So if you go to Bangla, which is Bengali here, so all of the things you can find it out is basically out here, okay? So this is how things are there. So you have to understand the projects. It takes time to understand the project. You have to understand that. So that's not that was not our purpose to come in here. It's basically I'm mentioning like how one can contribute from maybe starting from issue, then PR, or but in between then he or she needs to understand what is happening, how can I contribute, what is the maintainer asking for it, right? Asking from me in particular. Okay, now I have actually here you can see Meetool3737/glossary. Here you can see like, okay, I created a fork. Now I can work on it. Maybe there's something, but in this section we have no goals out here, like if we whatever we want to contribute or something. But why I showed you previously about this one, like how it is working and so on, is basically in the main branch. Everywhere this is same thing. In the main branch, this is where all of the main code or all of the codes are there, which is basically visually out there in any website or any project. So you have to understand main is the most interesting and important branch. Okay, but other than this, there are also other branches. So why these branches are created, we will understand about branching when we will learn the concept of branching. You will understand that, okay? But just for your consideration, I want to make you understand that there is there is a branch here. You can see, as I actually unselect these ones, the main one, that option previously, you can see all of the branches are here as well. So I can actually select the BN, and in my local like fork my account, I can now contribute. And then comes the interesting part, which is basically creating pull request. But we will understand it through labs, okay? So but now the interesting part is development or something. Now how can we develop, how can we work on it? Is there only we can work on it in the GitHub? No, in general, still now most of the developers do contribute using this one. Like they have forked it down, right? Now they will actually get this code. Basically it is HTTPS code, or maybe it can be SSH code as well. So yeah, basically you can copy it. You could open with GitHub Desktop if you have that, or you can download it or open with Visual Studio or something. But the most interesting part, which most of the developers do, is kind of, first of all, they install the Git. Okay, you have to install Git. Then using Git bash, you can actually clone it down in the repository or any folder. So you can also ask, maybe if you're new to I would say is like GitHub, what is repository? It is basically some sort of folder. So now just assume that I want to actually copy the whole project in my local system, and I want to work on it. This is the most interesting and beautiful part, because you can run the website in your local system. Okay, so okay, this is a free free start for us, right? Fresh start. We can just check it out, how to download, how to run the website, because you can maybe download the code, but it is hard to run the code as well. So all of the instructions to run the code is basically in the readme. This is why developers do have projects, focus on projects which are on documentation. Okay, even Google have Google season of docs to encourage people to documentation. So because anyone might want to contribute, but he will be lost, he or she will be lost. Okay, where to contribute? Okay, I have understood the code, but how to run the project in my local system? If anyone can't run the project in the local system, how he and or she is supposed to work or modify or add any feature? This is the interesting part. Okay, I've already decided, like, okay, I'm going to clone it down, but before that you have to just follow this process. What is the process? You have to now, like, sorry for that, you have to download Git, then you have to download the Git. Secondly, you have to like clone the project. Local system. But it might not happen all the time. Maybe you don't need to actually clone the project. Maybe you really don't want to run the project and see in a local system what is happening. It might happen. So in that moment you can just make, if there is some modification you just want to do it on GitHub or GitLab or so on, you can just do it, or make changes in own repository. Okay, done. This is cool. Okay, now just pressing this copy. Now I've decided folder, like in this folder I'm going to actually work on it. Okay, to run this actual website you need to have the latest Hugo version. Okay, so this is an interesting part, and you will also understand about it, like you need that, select Hugo. Okay, so I will show you the process. I have already created a lot of videos on this. Okay, but still, let's see. Now what I will do, I will be selecting from like show more options from Git bash here. Okay, I'll be copying it and I'll be doing like git clone. So this is what you need to write, git clone, then the link. Okay, so it will create, it will download the whole project for us. Okay, but if it is the first time you are contributing, if you're the first time you are actually downloading, you will actually have to provide your accounts and passwords out here, so that this Git bash knows that this is your account and authentication purpose. So that, okay, so it is important, because other than this, if you just pick out anyone's GitHub account or maybe any repository, anyone in anyone's account, it is tough, because without owning that, because right now you own it. Now you can say, how am I owning this project, right? This is an interesting portion, right? You know, when it was in the CNCF glossary, it was obviously owned by them. But when you are forking it, you can make any changes out here. Okay, you can make any changes, anything. You can just change the domain, any other thing. This project is now owned by you. Now, will this changes make like anything, any difference in this project? No. You can do anything out here, any stuff out here, like make any different changes, big changes and so on. But it will be out here only. Even there will be, if you go to the link, it won't work. It is just a copy. But if you just want that to happen, you have to go to this project, then press pull request, then like creating this, going here. Now you have to press this new pull request. Then you have to select, this is the main branch of like the CNCF. Then you also have to choose the other, like from your account and so on, a lot of things. So there are a lot of steps you have to choose and go for. Then you will then the maintenance will check, yes, if this follows our rules and regulation. Then if they approve, then the things will be out there. But other than this, you can make any changes out here. It is now yours. Okay, but obviously the project is sensitive, so you can make any changes. So this is a part of fork, and this is the part of open source. Like if you go to any projects and you just want to like fork it, you can do it. There's no problem. You can just fork it, and you can just make changes, you can add features, you can make something. So this is the beauty of open source. Okay, but my goal is to contribute to these projects. Okay, maybe your goal is to contribute to this project, so you don't want to make any that kind of change which actually doesn't have follow the code of conduct, because there is some code of conduct by the CNCF, right? Surely they follow, surely the organizations do follow this. Okay, now the factor is like, okay, what am I doing? If you just see, all of the codes have been downloaded. Now how can I see that? Here is the thing. Previously you have seen it was just glossary, sorry, it was just Hugo. Now it is glossary. So what is there? If you go here, you can see the whole codes are out here. So now why the project or why the folder is glossary? You know, the project name was glossary. Great. Now what we can do is we can open the project or we can run the project as a whole, but obviously you have to follow why did I create or why did I clone it, because I actually follow this one. Here you see the project owners actually mentioned like git clone then do it. Now here's the interesting part also, you have to understand that if I like fork it down and I just now clone this one, this doesn't make any sense, right? Why? Because I actually want to do one thing. You just understand the process. You have to understand the process. So after I have forked it down in my account, forked it down in my account, now there are a lot of codes, right? Now the factor is I will make some changes in my local system. I will take it down in my local system, make some changes and push it out here. Okay, like this is my PC. I will clone it down, I will make some changes and I will again push them down. Then I am actually going to again create a PR like, hey, I want to contribute. Okay, so first of all, but how I created this one, like this is fork. You understand the process, and this is important. This is the project you want to contribute to. Okay, this is a project you want to contribute to, and this is like, first of all, so let's understand how the process works. First of all, like you asked for the issue, done, you accepted, then you forked it down, then you actually clone it to your local system, then it's done. Once it is done, you actually push it to your GitHub account, and then you create a PR, and once approved, then the code is out there in the project. So this is how we contribute to any sort of project out there. Okay, so you have to understand this process. This is how it works. Okay, now that is why I have replaced this link with my own link. You can see Etul 3737, which is basically this one, because I am now making changes, or I will make changes to this system, this folder or repository only. Okay, and I have the permission to change this. But if you clone this, so why this was given? The reason is like, if anyone, this is not for this page, this is basically for this page. If you go to CNCF glossary, you can see the same thing, it is just a copy. So if anyone wants to download it in the local system and just want to run the page or run the website, they can do it. But if anyone wants to contribute, the process is simply just a bit different. Okay, here you can see, now you have to go to the glossary folder. So this is basically CD. Okay, to get into any folder, you have to write CD. Okay, we are going there. Now here you can see main branch. You can see there is something called main, which means main branch. Okay, we are currently in the main branch. Okay, but there's nothing actually because it was by default. You can see also default, by default it is the main branch, and also like we can go to any branches also. So these are few things you will understand gradually if you are new to this. Don't worry, this was very overwhelming for me also when I started learning. It took time, and it will take some time for you to. Okay, now follow these two, just copy paste. So this is why actually I would say, sorry for that, this is why I would say is like reading the readme is very important, and making a good readme is very important also, and many of us fail to do that. Okay, these do take some time because the thing is all of the things like the codes are downloaded here, but all of the other stuff which takes to actually run the websites will be downloaded right now. Okay, you can see these are the things, so it will take some time. So that's it, I guess. So we'll let it happen, and after we're done with this, I will actually copy paste this one. We'll do actually follow the process. So in the meantime, I guess if you have any questions, feel free to ask me here in the chat box, in the comment section out here. And that's it for this session. In the next session, we are going to start with like from the beginning of that project, which will be downloaded in a local system, and we will make some changes and you will see how the things work. So yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for being part of the session and being part of the content, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and feel free to actually follow the channel. So thank you so much. See you in the next session.